beauty's really fun amongst women. It's like a universal language. We all get it, and we all have, and and whoever else. But it's something to have fun with.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
nice.
It's again, it's kind of like, in a way, a lot of my girlfriends and myself, it's like I may spend time doing my makeup, and it's like a nice little routine for myself. Especially if you're an anxious person, like using your hands left, right. That's why walking is good, or knitting, or things like that. I think maybe doing things with your hands helps you space out a little bit.
Yeah.
Welcome to Before the Lights. If you're new here, we're a team of health professionals based in London who train people from all over the creative world to get ready for TV, film, even live shows, but most importantly, for everyday life. I'm Dave Hasty.
I'm George Ashwell.
I'm Georgia Canavan.
And I'm Josh Betteridge.
We've been lucky enough to build a pretty special group of members here at the club, so we thought it would be nice for other people to get to know some of them as well as we do.
I was like, I need to start going to the gym. So I literally got out my laptop, and was like, PT's for actors.
Welcome to Before the Lights podcast, guys. I'm Greg James. With me over here is Dangerous Dave, and here is Evil George. And today we're talking grind set.
Grind set.
It's not about mindset, guys. It's about grind set.
It was the very first time I met you when you came in and you actually had to run off and be sick in the toilet.
You feel quite vulnerable when you're kind of lying on your back with your legs up in the air because you feel sick, just breathing, and I'm like, this never happens. I'm so sorry.
So sit back, only do some exercise if you want to, and maybe even learn something about how to look after yourself.
Welcome back to Before the Lights podcast.
I do that.
Oh, okay. You go.
Welcome back to Before the Lights podcast. Today I'm joined by Josh. How are you?
Hello, I'm well, thank you.
What have you been up to?
Probably the same response as normal. Been in this amazing gym of ours, training lots of really fun people.
And finding out that you have a bank account called Beer Money.
Yeah, I found out I had a bank account called Beer Money, which is quite embarrassing when you're now a 36-year-old man, 35-year-old man, and had to do some banking stuff for my business. And they're like, sir, what is this?
What is this? Beer Money?
Not very serious businessman.
How much is in Beer Money?
Actually, it was about £1,200.
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Beer Money had £1,200 in
Are you
it.
kidding me?
Like a little account with the money in it.
That's great news.
Yeah.
You should keep it just for beer.
That is the
No?
best.
I should only use it for beer.
But just for beer, and then once it's gone, delete the account.
And then once it's gone, that's it. No more beer.
No more beer money.
Ever.
Yeah.
So my last hurrah is... But do you think I should...
No,
do
you
you
just
reckon-
keep drinking beer, but
Okay.
Should he go all on one day? 1200.
that's quite hard. That's
Well, it depends where you go. London, you could spend that, I reckon.
what, on average £6 a pint.
Do I invite people out with me, or is it just my own beer?
No,
It's
you
up,
t-
it's
you-
up to you.
Yeah.
You can do what you like. Anyway, we should probably introduce you rather than just talk about pints. Today we're joined by Today,
What were you trying to
too many
say?
beers. Today we're joined by the lovely Bella Brookman-Tilbury.
Hi.
Woo!
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on the show. So we are yet again dipping our toes. I can't speak today.
Dipping our world into the toes.
Dipping our toes into the world of fashion and beauty. So it was
Dave's
only
looking
right. It was only right that we had our resident expert Josh join us on today's show.
You're looking very fondly at me when you say fashion and beauty.
Which
Which is a concern.
because worryingly, Josh knows quite a lot about that world. whereas I don't
I
know
feel like you
anything.
do know loads.
Okay, that's true in essence.
Not worrying.
between-
I disagree with the worrying
The man with the
part,
bank
though.
account called Beer Money.
Yeah,
For some reason, knows quite a lot about it.
I
Beer,
fear that.
beauty and fashion.
I fear that if the conversation goes to who knows more about fashion and beauty,
I know,
than the
undoubtedly
insides,
Bella will.
then we have the
but-
best person in the room for that, and it's not me. Shock, it's not me.
Definitely Dave.
Shall I introduce you properly? We'll talk a bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah.
So, you work as a model, but you also are part of the family business, and that family business just happens to be a big international beauty brand.
One of the biggest in the whole world.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Charlotte Tilbury is the name of the brand. And Charlotte is your aunt. Is
Yes.
that right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us what you do in the business? And also, I'm just generally quite interested in what it's like working in because it's a family business,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
But it's obviously a massive business at the same time.
Yeah.
So what's that like?
So I work, I've been working well, I've been there since the beginning, really, but I went to school, uni, while they were all starting the business. But full time, I've been working there for 5 years now. And I have 2 roles. One is just like as a model / brand ambassador. So that involves being in campaigns, traveling, meeting people, doing events, meeting influencers, all the sort of things you imagine a brand ambassador has to do. And then the other side is within the marketing and our team and our creative agency. So I work as a creative strategist. So I work on supporting sort of the amazing people in our teams, like the brand managers and whoever the kind of creative agency counterpart. I sort of support them on their projects from more in the beginning stages, ideation phases, less in execution.
That's quite cool having the combination of both those things, because I can't imagine most of the time that's not how those jobs occur.
They're 2 very different jobs, that's for sure. But it's cool. I mean, because of obviously my relation to Charlotte, I've had a lot of opportunity to be in meetings that maybe otherwise someone who started at the beginning wasn't able to be, which I think meant that I could learn very quickly. And I think that is what enabled me to sort of move into this creative strategist position while doing this brand ambassador stuff. But yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, with family business, I mean, we don't talk about it in our personal time, weirdly enough. Like,
do you try and separate it out?
But not even on purpose. Like, it just doesn't, we just,
Yeah.
we have a lot to talk about all the time. I mean, if
And do you all
anyone's met
hang
my
out-
family, they all chat a lot.
Do you hang out a lot outside of work with the family?
Yeah. I see them all the time.
Do you see them more outside of work than you do at work, because it's quite a big business, so you kind of near each other when you're there day to day?
My sister works she's the artistry director, so she works in product development, and then she does a lot of celebrities makeup. She does campaigns. She does
So she's the
her
makeup
own
artist.
content. Yeah, she's a makeup artist. So our jobs don't really cross over very much, other than when we're both doing ambassadorship type duties in a way. So when we maybe go to Dubai together, we'll come as 2 sisters to meet everyone and do something there, or in New York, and then at that point our roles cross over, but day to day never really. We sometimes do some shoots together, but that's it. And then my mum, my mum and I have a lot of meetings together. She's a brilliant genius, very creative woman, and she is, she's Charlotte's eyes and ears, and they obviously are sisters, so they have very similar minds. And I also think my mum is just a really out of the box thinker, so she's very inspirational, and we sometimes butt heads on some things, but not really, to be honest. And then Charlotte is obviously just a genius.
So she's the CEO of the
Charlotte.
whole thing.
She is the chief creative officer, founder, chairman.
She's got a lot of hats.
She's got a lot of hats. I think there are a few people in the world like her, to be honest. Like, she has more energy than anyone I know. She'll be on a dance floor till 5 a.m. and then she'll be in a meeting at 9 a.m. and she will be
I find them
more
so
sharp than half the people in that room.
It's pretty cool though that like you are basically a big family, but also business partners and working together.
Yeah,
and
it's
that
amazing.
is such a difficult line to cross and work with. And the brand that's been created from what you guys do,
Yeah.
there's the name, there's the face,
Yeah.
but obviously it's all of you in that together, which has created this phenomenal business.
Yeah, it's amazing, honestly, what Charlotte has done, and my mum and my sister have been there from the very beginning.
No.
It's grown so quickly. I remember Charlotte, she had a office in Kensal Rise, and then it was in Brook Green, and then next thing we know, we're in 180, which is a really cool building to be in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely been a wild ride.
I'm keen to know if, like, had you already begun working in the kind of fashion and beauty stuff before?
Charlotte Tilbury.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. When I finished school, I went to New York and I signed with IMG Models, and then I did modeling for a bit. I don't think I think that at that time viewed modeling as something that should be very like easy and like doesn't require much effort, and sort of didn't really take it as seriously as the opportunity might have been. But I kind of chose the path of
Does
going
that mean
to
you were
uni.
just partying all the time?
I was partying and like no, and also like I see the girls who are models, like the big models today, and like a lot of them, they work really, really, really hard to get to the place that they're in, and I think that I sort of didn't view it that way when I first started.
But I guess that must mean that your heart wasn't maybe necessarily
my heart wasn't ever
what
really
you
in
wanted
it,
to
but
do.
it was obviously like a really nice way to make money and really cool way to meet creative people.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? Because I think we've spoken to like Rose Ferguson and Cora Core about making a start in that world, because you're often quite young, aren't you, when you step into that
I was
industry?
18. So not too there are some girls I remember meeting when I was 18 who were 16 starting, which is like really young.
And was it quite an intimidating place to go? Like to kind of move to New York at that age and then...
I didn't move to New York. I met with an agency in New York, but I was in London. To be honest, like it is really intimidating, and I think sometimes it takes a lot of confidence and strength, and you have to not be easily rattled, I think, because I think, especially when I was 18, it was 11 years ago, so it was a bit different back then as well.
Yeah.
That's filters.
I mean, yeah, that I would imagine it's such a strange time, even though you see the young girls going into castings for big shows and they've got all the chaperones. We spoke about it before, but
I think that's what I think it's difficult if you don't have a good support system around you, like friends and family who have, I think I'm really lucky. I have a really amazing family.
I was going to say, it sounds like from what you're just saying,
And so because of that, I never... Obviously, there was things about weight and like being more toned and all these sort of different things that like are the kind of topics that will come out like time and time again. But I think that I was never rattled too much by that because of my mum and my sister and my aunt. And also my mum, my sister and my aunt all are a bit more like curvier and I'm like quite like straight. And so they always tell me, like, you're so skinny, you're crazy, So I was always like, I'm fine. Like, they tell me.
That's a great position to be in then, to kind of enter into that world and have the confidence to do it.
I mean, that's not to say that I wasn't rattled at some points, I felt a bit insecure and it didn't make me feel good. And I think also you start observing like tiny things on your faces at such a young age, things you don't need to really care.
That is the thing, because like most people at that age probably aren't really scrutinizing themselves to that level of detail.
No, you start to
and
I still do scrutinize myself, and I think that's also that's not from modeling now. That's just from like social media. And I think you have to really. It's like you have to train your brain. Like I can catch myself in a week of very negative thoughts sometimes. Like this is wrong with me, and I'm terrible at this.
But you're able to acknowledge it and kind of do.
Yeah, you have to catch them. You have to you have to notice them, and I've learned how to do that for quite a long time, because my aunt is and my mum, they're all very like optimistic, positive people, and like you won't hear them saying anything negative.
I mean, I've never heard you say anything negative. You're here at 6:55 for your training session at 7 most of the time.
unless you've forgotten.
Unless I forget.
In that gym, Bella you are on it, you work hard, you train really well, and you put the effort in, and you've seen probably the change in your strength and your...
Definitely. Yeah, I try and be positive. I can be quite... It's funny. Everyone else that knows me thinks of me as and I am a very positive person. But my sister and my boyfriend and my mom and my dad are like, they just don't know. You're actually really grumpy. And I'm like, it's just reserved.
We must see a different side.
Special for you.
Yeah, we must see a different side.
No, it's just something, when you're like, it's whatever. It's the same with all siblings. When you're just like, oh, can't just leave me alone.
I can't. You being grumpy, I still imagine it's still like really, really fun.
Cora likes to be like, no, when Bella's grumpy, she's really scary. It's true. It's more like it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's a bit like...
I'm interested to know, like, when you then decided to go to uni, which obviously you chose the best city in the world, Leeds.
University of Leeds. Woo.
It's a pleasure to have had you in Leeds, in my hometown, of which I am very influential, obviously. But was that then a decision? Did you then go and study the marketing side of things that you now kind of work in?
Whenever even when I was at school, I guess I always loved business. I was like always like fascinated. I was like, how does business run? How does it work? What is strategy? I always like chose that sort of route, and then I studied marketing at uni. I think uni is a funny one, right? I chose marketing. I think that marketing, you probably don't have to go to uni to learn about it. I think you can go
in my head it's a degree for people that don't know what they want to do.
Exactly. So no, but
that's
exactly,
if I'm right?
you learn about some useful topics that are helpful, but it gives you the time in somewhere to have independence from your parents in school and kind of figure out what it is you kind of want to do after, and also have fun and party without any true responsibility.
Well, we met at uni and we didn't know what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And this has happened.
And now you've got me
sitting in here.
In
a little weird library.
You made it.
No, it's like I would say for people that don't necessarily know exactly what they want, if you've got the opportunity to do it, it's definitely a
I think uni's a good
place to go.
thing to do.
That's no real insight, is it? I mean, that's well known by everybody. But.
I don't know, but I don't really know the university systems in other countries, but I feel like in England that you kind of can just like go get your maintenance loan and do all of that stuff and sort of just figure it out without being like, where I feel like in the US it's like there's a lot of pressure, like you have to But the difference of the US, you can you don't have to figure out what you want to study. You can do loads of minors and majors, and like
you
that's
can
really
really
cool.
I
Whereas
really like the idea.
I
of that.
wish like if I look back like, now who I am, I probably wouldn't have studied marketing. Even though I know I work in it, like I probably would have studied like history or literature or something a bit more, I don't know, rich in information. Like I don't know anything about history, to be honest. I'm terrible.
I think I know a lot, and then I actually pick up a book and I know
We've
nothing about history.
got we've got a history podcast, so we'll get you on that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's the moonlighting one we're doing. This
Fun fact.
History of gyms.
How would you describe your relationship with health and fitness over the years? 'Cause I think briefly touched on it then when you guys were chatting, and then talking about how you've then stepped into that world and embraced it and kind of really dialed in recent years. Has that been quite a big change? Because we've only known you for about a year
It's
now.
our year anniversary.
It is a year anniversary.
Oh, happy
Congratulations to
birthday.
us.
I know.
But for what the version of you that we know is very focused and dedicated on
Yeah.
that stuff. But is that quite a recent thing?
It's been like on and off. I've known I've had scoliosis since I was 14, and it's caused me issues since then. So I've always been like in and out of going through moments where I'm like a bit more focused. This is the first time I've done weights and strength and conditioning, which has made the biggest
Yeah,
difference.
and that's probably the reason you came in initially, wasn't it? It was when you came in, you had an injury and you were in quite a lot of pain.
Exactly. And now the injury is much easier to, like hugging myself, much easier to manage because I've been doing weights. But no, I used to do a lot of Pilates, reformer Pilates, which really did help. But I never really, I don't know, I never kept anything. I never had enough discipline, to be honest. Like I would go through stages of being, doing it lots and lots and lots, but then I'd fall out of love with it. It also like, I don't know, this time round, I think I did it more for I actually really want to be strong and fit and healthy rather than from like a vanity.
Yeah.
point
I think
of view.
that's
obviously
often-
like that's a plus, and like I do it for that as well. Like I'm
Yeah.
not going to be all high mighty. Obviously, I like being toned.
Yeah.
But I think that this is the first time where I was like, I spoke about this with my therapist actually. When you kind of frame things rather than like something you want, but something like you have to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like it was
Yeah,
something that I became that I have to do, and I think that's quite a good way of framing things when you're trying to do something. It's like I actually have to do this in order to like feel better or look better or perform harder or any of those things, and that's what this came to me. So that's why I think I became so focused and determined, because it came out of a place of like pain. I was in a lot of pain.
And pain's weird. It's a pretty horrible, nasty thing, pain. If you have a scoliosis for a long period of time, then you can get lost in the system of what do I do? Go to see a physio, go see an osteo, see a chiro, and they have their own ways of doing stuff.
Yeah. I've
But-
always seen osteopaths and physios. Chiropractors scare me. I went to one when I was 16. I didn't like it. I felt so tired afterwards. But no, it's all about like it's just, I think I speak about this with my osteopath who have you met?
I've spoken to
You've
him.
spoken
Lovely
to.
man.
Amazing man, best osteopath. Who it's like you're either with like back problems and this sort of thing, you're either you either have the genetics or disposition of that or you don't, and you just have to figure out how to manage it, and you just have to deal with it. And then the person that doesn't have a back problem will have their own sort of
Own
other
stuff,
pains,
own shit
you know,
going
and we
on.
all have our own things. And I think I used to feel really sorry for myself, and it was really horrible. I'm not gonna swear. But I've now found ways like through doing weights and building muscle and ways to manage that pain, and it's definitely in the last year gotten so much better.
Yeah.
And he's really impressed with my
That's
progress.
good.
Yeah.
'Cause
He
it's
did. It was a
management.
very nice phone call because he was extremely complimentary the whole
Yeah.
time. I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
It's always funny when you have talking to another sort of person in the fitness and health world, and because you never want to butt heads with them.
Yeah.
And when there's a reciprocal relationship between us and an osteo, us and a physio, and then
Yeah.
a client, it just works really well.
Well, he was never trying to force me into anything. I've been seeing him for a few years now.
Yeah.
And he was never trying to force me into anything, but he was like, you should try weights. And I think for ages I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'm doing Pilates in the class here and there and like whatever, it's fine. And then I basically just stopped exercising for like a year and a half, 2 years almost. And then I got this pain where I couldn't move my neck. It used to be typically in my lower back and I couldn't walk. And then it became in the neck, which actually weirdly felt more debilitating than not, because I just had to lie flat when I couldn't walk. So it was like, there's nothing I could
Sucks.
do. Whereas this was like, I had to walk around with this sort of pain where I couldn't move my neck properly. And it's, I don't know.
Yeah. Getting strong.
Yeah.
Fixes most of life's problems.
I mean, we look at all the research. Every single year there's new research that comes out, and it's all about if you have pain or problems in your body, get the muscles around that joint strong.
Exactly.
And it's the simplest way to try.
Yeah.
It's not the kind of one cure for everything, but it does definitely make.
I mean,
quite a big
I definitely
difference.
feel like it changed my life a lot.
Yeah, bigger
Like,
biceps is great.
yeah, I can flex. No,
You were saying before that you've recently kind of done a bit more of like a deep dive tests on your body, and is that something, do you reckon you would have done that anyway, or is that something that you're kind of more tuned into how you feel and what your body's telling you?
what do you mean
And
deep dive tests?
in terms of like the blood tests and things?
Oh yeah, I always love doing blood tests. I love to know what's wrong
You're
with
just
me.
very inquisitive.
Bella
in that
loves to
sense.
diagnose.
I love to know what's wrong with. I want to know if something's wrong with me. I'm
Yeah.
a bit of a hypochondriac, but I didn't used to. I used to not want to know, but now,
So you
like the
kinda, like,
last few
kick it
years,
down the line a bit.
I'm lucky. Again, my family, my dad's philosophy, mum, aunt, all of them. Everyone's always very good at taking care of themselves. Like they all go to health retreats. They all do checkups.
But does it make you feel good when you have diagnosed? Like, when
Well-
do you feel happy? Like, does it send you to an anxious place? Or-
No, because I think sometimes, you can be feeling really horrible and weird. And more often than not, it's something to do with your body and what you're taking or what's happened. Or like I had a situation where I took the wrong antibiotics 3 times in a row for something. And then I fell into a really bad depression and I couldn't really figure out why. And nothing was really helping. And like, I personally didn't want to have to just jump into taking antidepressants. But then I went and saw my homeopath who like did some tests on me and and it was just that my gut was completely ruined from taking antibiotics, and I wasn't educated on that. And so then I took all these different drops and things to kind of build up my gut again, and then I was happy again.
Yeah. Do you have things then now that you have like
Yeah.
a little toolkit of stuff that you'll take on a daily basis to like a probiotic type things?
Well, I used to be really good at it, and then again, sort of the same thing with exercising. I sort of
Dropped off a little bit.
dropped off. I was like, I'm fine, I'm all good. We were just speaking about it before. I'm now very anemic.
I like the way you announce it. I am now anemic.
I'm now
You're
anemic.
diagnosed as anemic.
We are
Officially.
now anemic.
As of-
Certified anemic
as of
person. But
Exclusive.
well, exclusive. I am anemic.
And so for anyone that might not know, that's like an iron deficiency, low red blood count. Blood
Low
cell.
red blood cell count,
Counts.
which means less oxygen around your body, which means
Low red blood count.
Yeah, I can't talk
Red
today.
blood
can I?
cell count.
I literally can't talk today. You do the talking.
aren't
I'll
you
just
meant
sit
to
there.
be doing a health and wellness podcast?
Is your blue count good?
Although you don't have blue ones, Josh, actually. It's just white and red. Silly boy. And how did you feel? What was it that made you go and want to investigate that in the first place?
I sort of had suspicions over the last couple months of not taking my vitamins. I was like,
Something's going to
something's
happen.
going to happen, but let's see.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm.
But turns out you are like.
Turns out I'm like
severely
everyone
anemic.
else. If I don't take care of myself, something happens.
And you're now anemic.
I know what. Now, I did a hemoglobin test, so a prick. I need to do proper blood
What'd you
tests to
call
see. It's a hemoglobin.
You said you weren't going to swear.
And then, and so my red blood cell count was at 81, and a normal person should be 130, and mild anemia is 110. So quite bad.
Yeah, but if you're going to do it, you may as well do it properly. So,
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah.
I mean, we spoke earlier as well because we know that you have dietary requirements as well. So like,
Yeah.
it's not easy for you. Some of our listeners might be like, have a steak.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm vegetarian. I've been vegetarian for 7 years, and but also like my boyfriend takes the piss out of me because I don't like a lot of like healthy veggie protein food. I'm
You
not.
just want chips.
I love like, and I don't eat it every day. If I could eat it every day, I would. But I do love pasta and pizza, and like I love carbs a lot. But I don't eat them every day because I try and be balanced. But yeah, so that means I don't like tofu. Great source of protein for vegetarian. Hate tofu. Like even if someone's like, don't you like crispy tofu? I'm like, no, tofu. Tofu.
What
no.
about if it was in like a miso soup?
No. I hate
Wouldn't
tofu.
have it. Yeah.
I feel like she's one step away from retching on the mic. The hatred of tofu was so
Quite
vivid.
a lot of people have that with like sort of the texture of white creamy.
Yeah,
stuff.
it's a texture of it.
A lot of people have that. There's a friend of ours that won't eat anything that's like that, which
Yeah.
blows my mind. I'm like, just try it. No.
But yeah, so I can easily fall off the wagon maybe with my vegetarianism and not be consuming the nutrients that I need to through
Yeah,
my
yeah.
And I used to be quite good at taking lots of supplements and vitamins, and I had a great routine and everything, and I just sort of stopped doing it just because I forgot and got bored.
So-
And stopped buying everything.
Now that you're through the worst of your sort of injury
Yeah.
and things like that, has fitness and has training taken on a different responsibility in terms of, is there, you sort of spoke about that, talking about it with your therapist, as something that you have to do.
Yeah.
Is it more of like a mental health element to that
Yeah.
as well? Is there it kind of gives you a boost and a lift throughout the week?
Yeah, I think, but even, yeah, definitely. It's like energy. I have a lot more energy when I go to work. It's also like something I do for myself, which is really like, I come in here at 7 because I want to go do the sauna and the ice bath, right? So I need 2 hours here.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
my time. And that's like a very nice thing to do for yourself. It doesn't have to be exercising, but making space and finding hours in your day
It is
for
a good thing though,
yourself.
because it's like you have that
Yeah.
break from your phone, from work, from...
I've now started taking my phone into the sauna though.
Oh.
I used to
We're
not
gonna-
do that.
We might start banning phones in
We
the
should ban
sauna.
it. We should definitely do
Yeah.
that.
I mean, that's not going to stop anyone.
Well, we,
But like,
Well,
what,
no,
like
we'll
really,
come-
what are you guys going to do?
We'll open the door and take them off you. That's what we'll do.
I will physically take you. Well, you're not coming in.
You can't come in.
just
a lot
don't
less
come in.
people would come here if Josh started getting in the sauna. But so there's become that kind of
Yeah.
psychological
there's
benefit to it.
I think that's with all routine. I think we all need routine of some sort, and I think
Yeah.
that I have found it in exercise and doing. I also love saunas. So I don't know, and I think also like gets your body moving, helps you process food better. Like I really, now that I do it much more regularly, I can really feel the difference in how I felt before. You know, like I always felt a bit more slodgy. That's even what I had like before. A bit like if I hadn't, especially I work in an office, so I'm sitting down for a long time and maybe not doing as many steps as some people. And so even though I try, it's like hard. I'm trying to walk around the office a bit, but it doesn't really work.
Have you found,
No, it's true.
going back to kind of like the beauty industry in
Yeah.
general, is there a bit of a shift in terms of, I think like the aesthetic that people associate with that industry isn't necessarily kind of like one of someone that strength trains and that kind of stuff. Do you think that's changing a little bit?
In beauty,
Yeah, because I think there's, in my mind, there's basically there's a female athlete. She plays rugby for America.
Yeah.
And she is probably not what you would stereotypically think as being associated with like beauty. She wears lipstick when
she's
she
amazing.
plays. She's
Yeah,
called
yeah.
Amazing.
Iona
What's her name?
Mayer,
Iona Mayer.
and she's
But you
like
was-
super famous outside of rugby, and she's probably definitely the first female rugby player to do so. And I think that she is then pushing that very athletic female figure into the kind of the beauty industry quite a lot.
I think I do think there are quite a few cases now of women in sports and beauty. Like I think you're seeing a lot of partnerships in that quite a lot. Or you know, women who are breaking the norms in, like, what's her name, Iona,
Iona
and then
Mayer.
you have you know, you had Serena Williams maybe with her different outfits, and now you have some of the lionesses. We've worked with the lion. We've done some stuff with the lionesses. Ella Toon, one of the footballers.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
done some stuff with her before.
I guess with tennis has had this kind of parity, hasn't it, in sport, where because it was the same pay,
Yeah.
which other sports are only now really catching up to.
Yeah.
So those athletes were much more known about, and probably great ways of introducing certain brands and certain collaborations
Yeah.
and things. Whereas football and rugby in this country definitely have more recently kind of stepped up. And names like Ella Toon, you would expect most people to know who that is now.
Yeah.
And then more recently, you guys have stepped into the world of motorsport a little bit, haven't you? Which is really interesting for like, there's no, I think you said the other week, it's like there's no other beauty brand.
First
that's ever
female
really done
founded
that.
beauty brand, yeah.
And that's the F1 Academy.
F1 Academy, which is run by Susie Wolf, who herself, she was an F1 driver, and she started this academy. The odds are very slim, even as a male, to be able to be an F1 driver.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, it's not a sport that's maybe promoted as much to women, or like the opportunity maybe isn't there as much. And so I think it's about kind of increasing the odds. And I think F1 Academy gives them sort of a place to train to get, and also they do the races during race days of F1 because that's how they get more media visibility, and so they get
So
more
it would
press
be
about it.
at the same track.
Yeah, it'll be on the same
like
track, but they'll do
before
their
it
final
starts
race
kind
on
of
the
thing.
Saturday instead of the Sunday.
Uh-huh.
But it's really cool. These girls are so young and so impressive and so fearless. I'm just like, I could.
Would you
never
get in a
like
car?
her.
Would you try it?
No,
Can you drive?
no.
Okay, good idea not to then.
No, but isn't there some sort of joke that some F1 drivers didn't get driving licenses?
Well, some of them
They
make
just-
it quite young, and they're younger than
Yeah.
legally allowed,
To
because they
drive.
race from the age of like 7
Yeah,
or
well, you're
something.
karting from when you're like 4 or 5, right? And that, yeah, it's pretty cool. Though I've learned a lot about the whole like process of it all, and like I know it's basically just kind of to encourage women to, you know, have the confidence to try going into F1 that it isn't, you know, out of bounds, I guess. And also it's also about the viewership. I think something like 49% of the F1 viewership is now women.
Really?
Yeah, something really crazy. Like, again, not factually
No, but
correct, but
it's-
something really high like that.
Yeah.
This concept that Dave, because that's the first time I've heard of it, the fact that, and I just thought at the start, what the hell is a beauty brand doing with F1? And now you've just described this as,
What
look,
a man.
it's
Ugh, what a
I know,
bloke.
it's a proper
Ew.
male brain.
Man,
Boo. I know, boo me, and quite rightly, because I was like, what's the point of that? But the explanation of why,
yeah,
it makes it's such a great access to.
yeah, it's women
to open it to
empowering women. I
women,
think. And Susie is just also an amazing woman, and she's really a huge champion for the whole thing.
So there's
It's really interesting to see that sort of, because me and Amber, my wife, were talking about this the other day, and we're talking about you, Bella, as well, with
Yeah.
Charlotte Tilbury and just general makeup, where it's gone. And, you know, the two things that me and Amber were laughing at is we saw a girl, probably a teenage girl, 14, 15,
Yeah.
and there was a row of us on one side of the tube, and we all just watched in amazement where she, like, put this makeup on, contoured.
Yeah,
Don't know
yeah.
what contouring is, but I think that's what it's called.
It's not,
And
I
she, like,
contoured my face today. I mean, maybe you can't tell.
Oh, we can see. I can see the
Yeah,
Josh
little
knows.
light and shadow.
thing.
Josh knows.
And my wife was like, I would have no idea how to do that at like 15, 16.
Yeah.
But like she looks,
That's
it was really
TikTok for
beautiful.
you,
She
though.
made it look really, really lovely.
Yeah.
It wasn't like over the top, but this sort of growth of makeup from like young age into sport,
Yeah.
it's now everywhere.
I think that something that I learned from Charlotte, and I think something that I've observed myself, is beauty. I think just as much as your clothes is also another way of identifying yourself to the world, and like how you present yourself. And I think that like even if you make a choice of being more, you know, natural and like less makeup-y, like that's also a choice. And I think also it can be a statement, just as this woman in rugby wearing a red lip, you know, like I am a woman and I love red lipstick as my armor in sport. And I think it can also be a way of, you know, like standing your ground as a woman in sport. And I think, you know, Charlotte launched her brand doing these like looks and this idea of like, you know, who do you want to be? Her first slogan was who do you want to be today? So I think that's like the same with clothes and makeup. With both of them, they kind of come hand in hand. I think you can sort of choose. I do it. I wear, you know, on a night out, maybe I'll do more of like an eye because I feel like being a bit sexier, or then like maybe I want to be more like tomboyish and I'll do like, I'll still contour and make myself look fresh, but like a bit more boyish, you know. I think it still can be used as a tool of presenting yourself, and I think it doesn't have to be, I don't know.
That's
one look.
interesting.
It's
kind
like
of think-
anything.
That's really
looking at it
wicked,
from
yeah.
that point
Yeah.
of view is
Love
something
that.
that I've
Yeah.
never really
Same.
thought
Yeah.
about an awful lot.
Yeah,
So-
I think makeup is like not to be taken too seriously. I think it's like even friends of mine when I was younger were like, "Oh, I could never do that." But I'm like, if you do it wrong, you can just wipe it off.
Yeah,
Like,
it
it's
doesn't-
really
it doesn't
fine.
matter. Yeah.
It doesn't matter, and I think that it's something to be played. I mean, I was always encouraged to play with it. Charlotte, before Charlotte Tilbury, had like other brands she worked on, and I used to play around with all the colours and put little blue eyeshadow on my eyes and have fun with it. And I think, to your point, with younger girls who are really good at makeup these days, obviously because of TikTok and Instagram and everything, and learning how to do it. But I think it's fun. I think beauty is really fun amongst women. It's like a universal language. We all get it, and we all have, and you know, and whoever else. But it's something to have fun with.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
nice.
It's so again, it's kind of like in a way, you know, a lot of my girlfriends and myself, it's like I may spend time doing my makeup, and it's like a nice little routine for myself. Especially if you're an anxious person, like using your hands left, right. That's why walking is good, or knitting, or things like that. I think maybe doing things with your hands helps you space out a little bit.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see that the way you describe that. I've never thought of makeup or beauty in that way.
Yeah.
Like a lovely, like an armor. Like I'm a woman. I'm powerful.
Yeah.
I could be someone different each night as well, and
Yeah,
just
you can
change.
do whatever you want to do. Be
Yeah.
whoever you want to be.
So
That's
when
what,
is
like-
the man makeup coming? Because this is stuff that I've been reading about.
But it is for men too. It's for men
Yeah.
too. Why not? I mean, I think you have, like, we've worked with some of these influencers who I really admire. And they're all these boys who are probably about like 18, and they wear, like, they use our makeup, and they, you know, they want to put a bit of concealer on. They kind of do like their boyish version of it. But I think the idea of makeup not being such like a, you know, feminine thing, and that being afraid of your femininity as a young boy is like, well, you can see that in how some young men use makeup. Not all of them, but like, you know,
Yeah.
you're seeing it more often. And this idea of like being in touch with your femininity, I think.
I was prescribed, just because of some over the last couple of years, my skin's been going through different phases,
Yeah.
and I was prescribed like an SPF tint brush.
Yeah.
So I have like a makeup
It
brush,
helps neutralize redness.
and I'll hide in the toilet here and put it on. I wouldn't put it on. I don't
hide,
put it
my
on
friend. Get out there.
out here.
Let's
Don't hide
see.
it.
Let's see.
I put my creams on in front of everyone, but I wouldn't get my brush out until I put it on.
Time's
So-
changing.
Should I put it on for you?
You can you
In front
say
of my
like that.
pocket.
Then,
But
then,
whatever,
then it
if
sounds weird.
if you don't feel comfortable because it doesn't feel natural to you, maybe eventually it will. It's okay. You know, but as long as there's no shame in
Bella
putting
is
it on.
becoming your beauty therapist.
Yeah.
Literally beauty therapist.
I am a beauty therapist. No,
Beauty,
you can.
therapist.
I think it's important after all this very insightful and deep, thought-provoking chat. I would also like to introduce our section, Humbled in Hollywood. Josh has just been humbled by admitting that he goes to the toilet to apply his face brush.
To apply my makeup. I apply my makeup away from everyone. Right.
But thank you for sharing that. And
okay.
please don't feel like you have to go into the toilet and do it.
I'm going to do it right in front of everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah, you should.
do it in the gym.
We have a
everyone would be
really
very
good SPF
confused by
tip
that.
I can give you.
There we go.
I'm here as well.
That's what I'm shopping for. Got it.
Yeah, he's
Thank
seen
you.
it.
Got the
He's seen it on the
freebies.
website. He knows it exists.
SPF 10, flawless, that thing, you know, have you heard of it? Yeah,
Flawless
anyway.
Poreless.
It's called the
This episode is brought to you by FPS Tint Flawless Poreless.
it's called the
You said
flawless
that right.
poreless SPF primer or something like that. Anyway,
That's
Humbled in Hollywood. Yeah.
But basically, it's a section where we talk about how
Yeah.
often the people we speak to on this show, from the outside, life can seem quite kind of glamorous and exciting and all of that all the time. But obviously it's not. And we kind of get to know people on a more day-to-day level, whereas a lot of the people here are seen in snippets, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like maybe when you're kind of going somewhere to be the brand ambassador and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But it's moments where like just shining a light on the fact that there are the kind of elements of day-to-day, embarrassing moments, humbling moments, those kind of things that happen to everybody.
Yeah. As I told you guys before, I embarrass myself every single day. Like every day. I'm very clumsy. I'm pretty awkward. Well, like, it's funny. People wouldn't think of me as awkward, but internally, like, I'm screaming. I'm like, I feel so uncomfortable. I'm like freaking out right now. But you've asked, I mean, you guys have seen it yourself. I trip over anything.
There's because our floor is black in the gym and the weights are very much black heavy
A
dumbbells.
lot of things get
There's a
hidden in
couple
there.
of, and Bella makes this little whoop noise when she'll stumble over and be like, whoop. But it's a very just like playful, never annoyed, never upset. She
I
never
guess if
stacks it on the
it's
floor.
happening a lot, you know it's coming at some point.
I fall over. But I'm like a specific type of clumsy. I never touch wood or like
There's wood
whatever.
right next to you.
All
There you go.
I
Full slap.
have minor accidents. Like they're never big major things.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's consistent and solid, right? I've got a couple scars here and there.
Oh, go on. What happened?
I've got like one from running away from a teacher from smoking at school and slipping on ice and then like whacking my shin and having to hobble away because he used to.
Did you carry on trying to run away?
Yeah.
Did you get away?
He was this teacher that used to dress up in hoodies. He was like a 60-year-old man. He'd like pretend he was a student. He's like, "Oh, you can have
This
a lighter."
guy sounds like he should be in prison. When you say it like that.
Dave,
No, but he
older
would-
men can wear hoodies.
Yeah, he
Not
wore a
around
hoodie
girls at
to
school,
pretend to be
surely.
a student.
Yeah, that's all getting a bit
Okay,
weird.
that's weird.
Yeah, but he pretended to be a student and to catch smokers. Do you know what I mean? There was a game. It was like a game amongst our teachers.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, when you talk
He'd be
about
like,
it, yeah,
"Can I
that
have a
sounds more
lighter?"
reasonable.
And they'd be like, "Oh no, run!"
He's definitely a smoker, isn't he? He was getting annoyed.
Sure,
with-
I mean, I
with
think
contraband.
if there was a 6-year-old teacher trying to give out lighters, you'd know quite quickly. You'd
No,
be
give
like,
them
I
that.
know that you're not a student.
No, you'd be like, "Mr." Oh, I won't say his name. It was pretty funny though, like in hindsight. But anyway, I'm humbled every day of my life. Honestly, I fall over. I say silly things. Sometimes don't even know how to speak. Sometimes I'll be at
Well,
somebody-
that's been apparent because I can do that today. It's,
You can't speak.
Just got to get on with it.
No, but I'll be at some of these events and like my mum's friends sometimes and my sister's friends will be like, "Bella's like a bit awkward sometimes," and because they'll be like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "Good,
Yeah.
yeah, good,
Yeah.
cool. I'm gonna go to the loo now."
Yeah.
I say that every time, and I'm like, everyone knows this because I don't want to speak to them.
That's good that you have your code word. Like, I'm just going to go to the loo.
like fuck
Everyone's
off.
like,
I don't want
yeah.
to talk to you.
Just
Yeah.
run away.
Yeah.
Like teenage
It's really
girls, just
rude,
run.
actually.
It's funny, you go to the loo quite a lot when we train together. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
She's only here to get the sauna. That's the
it.
reason why.
Literally. No.
Have you ever done any stumbles whilst you're modelling? Because that is such an intense moment when someone's doing.
Yes, I have, but I
Anything-
can't remember when it was. I've definitely done that on I feel like I did when I was 19. I was walking in this show. I feel like I did like trip a bit.
I mean, it's so. I think I've done a couple of
that-
shows.
Try and just carry on and forget it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not embarrassing.
No.
I think that's fine. It happens. You get put in some really shitty heels sometimes, and sometimes they're not even the right size for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I suppose
Just
they just
stop.
go put these on and off you go.
Off
They're
you go.
Stock size, aren't they?
But I think I mean, I'm really impressed. That I was at the show yesterday where these models had these very hard, big heeled boots to walk in.
I watched some of it. It looked quite hard to walk on.
Really hard to walk on, but they, still managed to do it.
But they did a little trick. They sort of stick the little sticky tape. They stick the shoe to the foot.
Yeah,
and everything,
He knows it all. Knows it all.
I had to apply once some Pritt stick to a shoe just before someone went out to. So I was like, "Where's the glue?" I was like, "I don't know, but there's some Pritt stick. Let's just try and do that."
Fixes bodies, fixes outfits.
Yeah.
Do everything.
Does
What
it
can't
all.
you do?
Lots. That's a whole other podcast. Whole other podcast.
We always finish off the show talking about what's next, which often with like actors and people, it's kind of what's coming up in films that are unreleased and things like that.
What's
But
happening in beauty? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, what's next?
What's next? In beauty?
For you.
No, for me. Oh, for
Yeah,
me.
for you.
For me. I what's next is taking care of my anemia. So next time you see me, I will have less of a grey face. No, I think that one thing that I really want to do is do more hobbies, to be honest. Like, it sounds really generic and boring, but
Nice.
acting lessons for confidence.
Okay.
I don't want to be an actor, but I want to do acting lessons because I think it's good,
Yeah.
how to enunciate things and articulate yourself well and have more confidence. That's something I've been on my friends laugh at me. I have a to-do list.
That's really cool.
That never ends, which I've lots of. Do you have my driving license?
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
good one.
I'm
Get that one.
29, like time to be able to drive.
Get that
Susie
done.
Wolf can help you with that.
Yeah, maybe I'll
You
be
just
an
go
F1
straight in
driver.
at the top.
And
F1 straight away.
actually build a doable but good, health routine for my food.
Yeah.
Good, healthy food.
These are very good things.
Can't be.
These are things that we would
hopefully
like to
can
help.
assist with some
Yes.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, applying the makeup.
Driving lessons and
What's
acting
next is
lessons
making
mostly.
sure my foundations are in a good place so that I can achieve more.
It's a great,
That's what's next.
I like that.
great way to
Can I
summarise
have
it.
one more question? I have one more question
Yeah.
because I'm still fascinated about it. Where do you, this might be a hard one to answer? Answer. Sorry. Where is the beauty world going? Is it going to continue to grow? Like we talked about men using makeup more,
Yeah.
teenagers more.
Where is it going? God, I think that it can be unpredictable. There's a lot. It doesn't stop growing. There's so many new brands, honestly, every day. And I think that there's more makeup artist brands coming in, which I think is really cool and interesting. I think that you're going to find, all products are going to have to be good for your skin. Like, there's not going to be anything that can be clogged. Most products now should, like, whatever you buy should have ingredients that are good for your skin. I think
Yeah.
there's also a lot of EU regulations and North American regulations where you're going to have to see a lot of formulas change. And I think
Oh wow.
potentially you'll see like a lot of more and more there's already hybrid products, but more and more hybrid products. I think people invest a lot more in skincare in order to wear less on their face for makeup. I'd
Understood.
say.
Yeah. Nice. That's
Yeah.
a good point. I like that.
Well, thank you very much for agreeing to come on the podcast. I think it's been a different and very insightful conversation.
Yeah, full of facts.
Full of facts.
Full of facts.
Fact check them all because they might help.
Yeah, a lot of fact checking needed. Don't quote me on anything I said.
Yeah.
She didn't go to
That's
Leeds.
the perfect way to sign off.
Yeah.
She
That's
didn't do
it.
marketing.
Leave it there.
It's
Leave
all
it
a
there.
lie.
But yeah, thanks so much.
I take back everything I said.